All right, let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Matt Zaffino. Matt, it was so nice to see the sun today, but those weeks of rain, they had to be good for something, right?
Well, they really were. They boosted our rainfall totals. But of course, Blair, since we're still in the early days of 2025, I thought it might be fun to look back on some of the weather highlights of 2024. So this is looking back, not forward. The ice storm. Who could forget it? I mean, that was really one of the biggest weather stories of last year. From January 12th to the 17th, Portland was hammered by those strong east winds, temperatures like 25 degrees below average. We had 2 bouts of freezing rain as the Arctic front moved through, moved south, stalled, and then came back for a second visit. And hundreds of thousands lost power, myself included. So that was definitely a low light of our weather from 2024. On the other side of the coin, though, remember July, the heat wave from the 5th to the 9th, 5 days in a row, our temperatures were between 99 and 104. And in fact, that helped make July 2024 the warmest July on record in Portland. So we had the ice storm in January, record warm July. We also had close to record warm weather in September and October. When you add it all up, 2024 was the second warmest year on record at the Portland airport, where the records go back to 1941. So that's what we did in 2024. Remember, it was an El Nino year, the opposite of what this year is, this year being a La Nina, which we will get into in just a bit. Now, back to your point about the rain, Blair. Yeah, it was wet in December. We had nearly 7 inches of rain, about an inch above average. So, you know, December is normally one of our wettest months, right? It was good for something. It boosted our rainfall total for the new water year, which began on October 1st, to well over 2 inches above average. We're now 18 inches since the 1st of October. That's a lot of water, right?
Matt, you said something I have a question about. The new water year. What does that mean?
So we look at rainfall from the calendar year, but also something that we call the water year. So we look at it from October 1st through the new year to September 30th the following year. And the reason we do that is that period, the water year beginning October 1st, encapsulates one storm season. If you look at it from January 1st, you're really getting the tail end of 1 year storm season and then the beginning of the next storm season when the rains hit again in October. But it's a very good question. So that's why we do that. So we get a sense for what the storm season was like through the fall, winter, and then into spring when things begin to settle down.
Okay, got it.
Okay, cool.
Continue.
Yes, thank you. It's a good question, though, for sure. So for the calendar year, though, we look at that as well. We were also above average by nearly 3 inches of rain. So, of course, all of this begs the question, what will happen in the rest of winter? Because it's been a pretty warm winter so far. I can tell you that from a skier's point of view. I was up on the mountain this weekend. It was rainy. It was slushy. We have good snowpack, but the snow level hasn't been very low for really since mid-November. So will it get cold again? I think very likely it will, potentially, in fact, at the end of this month. La Nina, one of the signatures of a La Nina is a lot of variability. The jet stream is always readjusting itself. I expect that to begin to happen at the end of this month. In fact, here's the 3-month outlook from the Climate Prediction Center for January, February, and March, Blair. And it's showing, as you can see, below average temperatures forecast for the Northwest, and that is coupled with above average precipitation. So, you know, in spite of the great weather we had today, we're not done.
No.
I mean, the other shoe may easily drop. And in fact, if you think about it, Portland's all-time record coldest weather ever was in early February. So,
oh my God, we got what? A month?
Oh, we got at least a month and a half before we can begin to kind of say, okay, we're probably not going to get snow. Once we get into mid-February, the odds of getting snow at sea level in Western Oregon really drop off. They're non-zero. We've had snowfall in March. In fact, a couple years ago, remember we had that April snowstorm?
It was April, yeah.
So bizarre. That was really an outlier. But once we get into mid-February, usually on average, the odds go down for getting valley snow. I get that question a lot. We going to get snow this winter? I still think we will.
I hope so. I mean, I kind of like a good dusting. I'm from the Northeast, you know? I'd be crazy if I didn't.
A dusting is one thing, a foot is another. So
I can handle either.
You know what I like? I like it when the snow level goes down to about 1,000 feet and the valley doesn't get snow, because then I can still go to the mountain and ski and enjoy all that powder. Right. If it snows in town, I'm here. So we'll see what happens.
Best of both worlds.
Yes.
All right. Thanks so much, Matt.
You bet.